We are live. Yeah, that's more like it. I like this scene way better. Hello, Twitch. Hello, everybody that's watching. Welcome back again for part 2 of Act 1 of the brand new Fontaine storyline. So far, what have we learned? People died, and they're trying to blame our boy. Personally, I think he did it. You know, got a tattoo on his face. I think that tattoo says a lot. But I guess we got plot to attend to, so we won't be able to throw him in jail ourselves. We actually gotta save him. We gotta save our boy Lenny from getting locked up. And that means we gotta do a little bit of both lawyer work and detective work. As you can see, everybody is on the scene. That's right, brother had a giant tank dropped on him, got turned into a chalk outline. We're gonna take some forensic photos. Is that what's going on here? This is the magic box. Oh, all right. I just won't read it then. I think I was supposed to look at that anyway. This is such a cool area to explore. Wait, was I supposed to look at this? Shit. How do I get back up there? Look for clues. Are you a clue?
Go ahead, have a look around. In the end, we're both after the truth.
I got some item last time. What is this? Oh, that's right. I forget what this was. The broken magic box was left on the scene after the guards. Is that what I was trying to say? Guards completed their investigation. Looking at it now, the water tank must have struck it really hard. Like my dad. Kidding. That was a joke. Is there other evidence here? It is.
So
Ooh,
this is the
here?
rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable.
Dude, pipe out of that
How can
stupid
it be
costume.
burned through so quickly by fireworks?
Or.
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
I'm just looking at where the rope snapped.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material. Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
Seems to be flammable, like a type of flash cotton.
Huh.
Because I know exactly
So
what
if
that
a
is.
rope meant to hold something
I've
was
certainly
made
heard
with
of that.
that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait, why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes.
Our handy dandy. Dude, I love Blue's Clues growing up. Alright, does that count as one? Oops.
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Could you tell us who she is?
Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House.
Oops. Wait, you could do that? Mid-sentence?
But she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
Hey, good looking out, brother.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Bro, what you want me to snitch? I probably should have read that. Let me see. Can I pull that up again? Wait, let me get my login bonus. Why can't I pull that up again? Also, what else around here have I not inspected? It's still telling me to go back. Is it them? Oh, that's right, people. Making me talk to people. Ugh.
The investigation team has some new findings.
I thought that was
Turns
a,
out
I
there's
thought
an
that was
issue
a
with the
woman.
random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Vaughn? I have a cousin named Vaughn. But yeah, let me read this real quick. What did this say? Come on. Halsey is the missing person. She's a famous painter and came to watch the magic show in order to take a break from her own creative work. She isn't known to have been entangled in quarrels with any of the members of Linnea's magic group.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
I feel like this whole quest is going to be very fun for people that enjoy murder mysteries.
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared.
So much for being lucky.
Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already
that
know that you
sucks.
have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us, too.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that he reserved or he knew where all the seats were, right?
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Appreciate you.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
This device was used during Linnea's magic performance to choose the lucky number of the audience. However, the guards have found that it will generate the exact same number no matter what. Clearly, someone has tampered with it. Okay, now we're done with this area. Moving on to the pews. This is still such a cool area, too. Isildur, Dumbledore.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too. If you find any new and
I'm
interesting
liking this
leads,
guy's voice, not gonna lie.
be sure to share them with me, all right?
Hey, we're not sharing anything with you. Who are you, huh? You trying to steal our thunder?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Yeah, Paimon doesn't have any thoughts.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
I like this guy's outfit. I think I saw it from the back, or maybe I'm even thinking of somebody else who had an outfit like this. They all have like gears on their outfit. The guy has like a gear holding his tie.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
I still find it very cringe to see their outfits, and you can just easily tell that it's basically just a single model that's like has the outfit painted on. It's very obvious. It really bothers me. It
That
makes my
makes
balls
sense.
itch.
So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Nah, oh, hold on. You are not going to blame my cat girl for this.
But wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
I don't like them. Wouldn't the water tank have started to swing a bit in that case?
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
Strange noises. When things go bump in the night. Why do I feel like that was a show? That was a title for something, I feel like. Yeah, it's Nat. This place is bigger than I thought.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here!
Oh,
I've been
ooh.
keeping an eye on
Check
you
out the
for
Men
a
in
while
Black.
now.
It's like steampunk Men in Black. It's got fucking mommy back there.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Ooh.
Have you never heard of the Spina di
Strike a
Rosula?
pose. Spina di Rosula.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it.
Is that her name or the title? Also, those guys look like they will break my ankles.
And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
Oh, Navia.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I got a couple of names I call you.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Seriously, you didn't call him Gold? Missed opportunity.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well,
Demo-
I am the
Demoiselle?
second generation
Mademoiselle?
president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
All merely trifling details. Never mind.
Bro,
Now,
she is
back
gorgeous.
to the situation at hand. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too! That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
I believe it. Seems legit. Absolutely.
Farina sure was quick to
That
point
is
the
not the
finger at Linny
Simpery
without
talking.
any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Okay, so after carefully examining her body, I can see that she has the Geo vision right there on the right shoulder. Or her left. It will be on her left. Her left shoulder right there has a vision. She's Geo. Finally, we're going to get a new Geo character. Dude, it's been so long. Geo kind of sucks, unfortunately. But it is still kind of my favorite element, even though it sucks. I don't know. What can you do? Okay, Zhongli, Ito, you got a strong lineup for Geo. Hopefully, when she comes in, she'll bring something new to Geo. Unlikely, but you know, one can hope. She's also more than likely going to be a 5-star, so I think people will be kind of pissed if they find out that this hot-ass 5-star is gonna be absolute trash to summon for. But then again, who doesn't summon for waifus? She could be actual garbage. She could be a literal trash can, but she's still a waifu. So people will pay.
Sounds more like you
And it might just
don't
include
trust
me.
the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
Facts.
All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute. Did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry.
Hey, don't argue with
you
the
won't
lady,
hear any
Paimon.
pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well?
And why would that be?
Doing so makes it easy for the truth to fall by the wayside. Something serious like a trial shouldn't be treated like entertainment. Tell that to the Johnny Depp trial.
See, Silver and Maloose? I told you they'd be different.
Dude, the amount of memes that came out of the Johnny Depp trial, that was like the biggest, most important part of the trial, is how meme-worthy it was. Oh, they were so good too.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent.
Not to mention you got people like Donald Trump in politics. The dude was a literal entertainer, and now he's running for president for a second time. Like, dude, the Donald Trump arc has just been one of the greatest moments you could find in TV history.
No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact.
They must be based.
And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Maloose. Anyway, I like your answer. You pass with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Huh? Oh, well, I can be the assistant, sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
Oh my god, I'm really starting to like her already. I'm really liking her.
That's more like it.
Oh my gosh, she's... Ooh. Okay, I definitely gotta edit that out. What the hell was that noise? Whoa! I think I've been having a little too much of this to drink. Seems you've already agreed then.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
Oh, this dude did it.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be
Stoic.
making some
Gotta love it.
preparations first.
I bet you this
Just
guy did
be
it.
sure to
Wearing
let us
glasses,
know if they
he's
start
on our side,
revealing Lenny's
incognito.
tricks. Thanks.
But can we talk some more?
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very popular in Poisson.
In what? How do you say that? Poisson, poisson, croissant.
I can see that. Maybe I should try to learn some magic. If I can make things disappear, cleaning my room would be a cinch.
You need not worry about such things, demoiselle. That falls under my duties.
Wait, cleaning your room? Wait a second. No. How old is she? I gotta look this up. What's her name again?
Oh.
Avia?
Right.
Navia age. Quest exclusive NPC? Like hell she is. At least not right now. Or maybe she is right now, but she won't be for long. Okay, we got lots of trivia. Nothing about her age though. Well, I was right about the Geovision. Yep. Oh man, I'm so curious about her now. What kind of weapon does she use? Come to think of it, do we have any Geo sword users? Geo sword user. I can think of one of like every other weapon type, but I don't know if we've had any Geo sword users. Well, that'll be fun. Hopefully she uses a sword. If I had to guess, I'd say she uses a sword. She looks like a sword user. Oh well. Those are questions for later, I guess. The game is pretty new. Or the update. Wait, are we still investigating? Wait,
Sorry, but no
Tristane?
one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
Are we just not going to talk about what the species of being this is? We've never seen this before.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
What about during the show?
I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
How can you be so sure,
Well,
Theater
because
pipe on.
I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave.
So, before I click forward, I would assume that means that either the girl is still here, and so it's the perpetrator, or they snuck out some other way.
We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
Melusines? Is that what you are?
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. Alright, thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
Yeah, maybe we should start looking for a Scooby-Doo style secret room or secret exit or something. No one left the Opera House during the magic show, and after the incident happened, only those who had their identities cleared by the guards could leave.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Oh, this is the high ground. I'm loving this area. More than likely never gonna have to come back here again, though.
Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just
Yo,
doing my job.
Riz.
You've arrived.
Rose and the hot officer.
Who's this? Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Dude, seeing them side by side. Navia? That's her name? Yeah, Navia. She is so beautiful. And I'm loving her energy. But I just can't around Linny or Lynette. Linny. I can't. She just ain't it. Like, Navia just is not it. Especially when Lynette is right here.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the
She's trying,
secrets
though.
behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
Ah, the old switcheroo.
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back of the door isn't the same either.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put two and two
I didn't even
together,
notice that either.
what do you get?
Does that mean there's another box inside this one?
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
And this passage linked the two boxes together.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The two magic boxes are positioned right above the two entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Then what about your side of the trick?
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
Wait, what?
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Ain't no way. That's pretty funny.
And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow! Every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
I could tell a lot of thought was put into this.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
You know the first person that came to mind? I think his name is Mumbo or something like that. He was like a villain in the Teen Titans show. He had a mask a lot like Robin's, but he was like blue, and he was voiced by Tom Kenny. Yeah, that's one of the most memorable parts about him. But he was literally a magician villain. He was a villain, and he used like all kinds of weird, funny magic tricks in order to commit crimes. Makes sense to me.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone.
Shit,
We're
it
counting
could.
on you.
On-stage magic box structure. I probably should read these. Magic box on stage has an additional layer in its rear, in which Lynette and Lenny's clothes remain hidden. She would appear at the end of the magic trick and lead people to believe that Lenny had been able to instantly move to the box on the other side. Audience side member or audience side magic structure. Magic box structure. The magic box at the center of the audience stands has 2 layers, and beneath it, an entrance to an underground tunnel. This was how the lucky audience member was meant to have been transported without the audience noticing. Oh, that was a good one. A ladder is required in order to return to the magic box above. This should be the control device for the trolley. It seems to be able to operate automatically. And what else we got?
Huh. What's this?
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
And he didn't mention this earlier.
Perhaps it
grappling
was
hook.
a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Wait, where'd he go? Is he not still here? Is Lenny not still here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Dropped hook rope, a rope that has fallen to the ground. A metal hook that has been tied to one end of this rope. Its use is unclear.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Probably for a trick.
Oh, hi, my nose. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Navia, can I just say your makeup is on point, girl.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
If somebody wanted to cosplay her, they would literally just be going as a gorgeous steampunk era French lady. It looked good, that's the point. Broken flower vase. There are many pieces of broken flower vase on one side of the tunnel. All the water within has been spilled. Judging from the distance, it seems unlikely that it was knocked over by the trolley meant to transport the magic box.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right?
Yo, she naked?
Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Lenny didn't mention the guest having a wardrobe change.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them? Ugh. This is
What
so
happened to her
confusing.
glasses? Goofy
Someone
ass.
doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
Young lady's clothes. The clothes belonging to Hazel. Is it? How do they say it again? Housley? Hazley? Something like that. The lady who went missing were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. High precision is required to complete this magic show. The tracks are perfect for making the trolley stay on its designated course. Is that everything? All kinds of props and costumes are haphazardly stuffed inside. The trolley is crucial for transporting the magic box to the other side. The culprit must have used this to execute their plan. And here we have
I
our
hate
escape
this
route.
place.
Looks like a vent.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
Other than those that go through the magic boxes, and Lenny and Lynette were in the 2 magic boxes.
Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Tunnel vent. The tunnel vent looks like it could hold, or it could allow one person passage. Barely, but leaving along with the missing lady seems an unrealistic prospect.
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up. Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
Nah, we got some dirty cops. Search them. I want prostate checks on everybody.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
Shit, probably.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's
Halsey.
death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
Bro, I just noticed Navia's thighs. Good fucking lord.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
The Oratrice too?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice.
I'm trying to pay attention to what she's saying, but now I can't stop thinking about her thighs. Whoa, calm down.
To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Omoshiroi.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neverlet called the shots.
In practice, there is very
Never
little
let.
difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Ah, they're gonna keep us here until the trial?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
Dude, again, I am so distracted by her thighs. I said it once, I'll say it again. With feeling. Good fucking lord.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course,
Asking the
I
big
just
questions.
hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
Shit, y'all got croissants?
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too.
Hey, she asking us out.
I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Breaking out, yeah.
Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
One sec. Lord have mercy. All right.
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
They got a kitchen back here?
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Oh yeah, that's right. Kitchens are portable now.
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work,
So they
you
stay
two.
strapped
Then I'll
with the
get
eggs.
to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group.
Hopefully she doesn't make food that tastes like a fucking roach or something. Oh, macaroons?
And Paimon thought
Ooh.
it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling.
Is it me or are those things huge? I thought those were like smaller than the palm of your hand. Those look like fucking cheeseburgers. American cheeseburgers. So they're bigger than your head.
From the way you have these two guys carrying
They
all
are.
that
Look at the
stuff
size of those things.
Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
Bro, that is a McDouble. What do you mean? That's not a macaroon. Are macaroons that big in France or something? What's going on?
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
That's what I call helping. If I see somebody has like a flat tire or something, I will make sure I get out and clap for them. You can do it.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks.
Lady after my own heart.
Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try, fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
She painted faces on them.
Well, eating
That's
too
cute.
many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Yeah, all that sugar goes straight to your head. Or to your thighs.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Hey, join us.
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
So, apart from the twins, we're left with 2 other people, the missing girl and the deceased.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction.
Wait, and the discarding of her clothes? Bro just ripped her clothes off and snatched her up? I mean, this might get a little bit darker than I expected for a Genshin story.
Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
There's no evidence that this third person even exists.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Halsey's in on it, and Cowl's not dead. That was a cadaver. We're getting played.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
But she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guards said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
What if my first theory is wrong, which is that we're getting played? What if it was the other sibling? You know, somebody, if you're talking about somebody who probably knows how the tricks work, maybe it's the other brother. Yeah, the one we saw earlier with the penguin. They were talking about something earlier. Her or him and Lenny was talking about something that he didn't want to fill us in on.
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
Did you eat my shit?
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
He ate Melis.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
Oh, it's fine. Everybody knows how much you love eating.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you?
She sounds like she's gonna cry.
If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach!
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal.
Somebody took them, didn't they?
Malus, set up the stove again if you would.
Like right in front of us? Nah.
What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Hey, looking out. This is why she's really pushing for number 2 girl right now.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Dude, how much do you have? Where do you keep those?
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
Well, that's it for snack time.
I don't even bother reading those.
I'm going
They
to have
disappear
another
way too
look
quick.
around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right, thanks for your help and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Probability of a third person being involved. Neither Cowell or Housley had a motive, but after having talked with Navia, the likelihood of a third person being involved seemed very low too.
All right, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
All right, so we actually supposed to be. Oh, look, we can leave. That's good to know. Are we in Liyue? Here's Fontaine. I was supposed to do some exploring yesterday, but I didn't. I was too busy playing Remnant. Remnant 2. I completely forgot about it. Probably not going to be able to do that today either. I have a trip ahead of me. A long trip. Ugh. It's like 10 to 12 hours in a car just driving all the way to fucking Georgia. I did it all the time when I was a kid. You'd think I'd be used to it, but I just grown to hate it. I hate long car rides. The only thing worse than long car rides is long car drives when I actually have to drive. Oh yeah, Faruzan's birthday. Which means free stuff for me. Get a few Farimo gems. And I'll get rid of those some other time. I usually want to get rid of these exclamations, but considering I got one that I can't get rid of because one of them's for fucking Bennett. Is it Bennett? Well, it's usually Bennett. But, oh yeah, I put a copy for Faruzan? I did. Which one is this? Pressure vortex created by pressurized collapses will restore energy to Faruzan based on the number of opponents hit. If it hits one opponent, it restores 2 energy. And for each additional opponent, it restores 0.5 energy. So just more energy, which is good. I mean, honestly, it feels kind of unnecessary. I feel like I can get her all very, very easily. Oh yeah, I gotta wait. Play the waiting game. What time was it again? 8 a.m. Ooh, did the music just change?
Yeah.
All right, let's get this show on the road. Are you gonna take that off, Paimon?
The whole situation is so confusing.
I do have some thoughts, but let's take things step by step.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
She's smiling.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed.
Wait, why do you sound like you want us to get in trouble? It was you, wasn't it? I don't trust nobody.
That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Oh, you gonna get it.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying.
Objection.
There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
I love that little cut thing that they did right there, the little scene by scene or image by image or whatever you call it.
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Yeah, like this music.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
How could Lenny not know about the sound?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Probably represents the ordinances stand on the trial.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye.
Bruh, why is she going for our throats right now?
Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid.
That's not the only thing that's rock solid right now.
Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
House of the huh?
The House of the Hearth?
They're Fatui? Wait, Fatui?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a
Wait,
feeling
are
that
they
what
though?
happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Oh, did you hear that voice lower? Yo, whoa. Well, I got several questions.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could
these
tell
scene
us
transitions.
everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted?
She's got an
Now
inner.
comes the
She's got an inner
infighting
self.
in Discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
So it looks like she just really gets off on being involved in trials, huh? Like as a prosecutor specifically, I wonder?
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Lenny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Lenny and Lynette are Fatui.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about a magician's ability to con others. Given how Lenny's concealed his identity, this could all have been set up beforehand. Plus, Childs here and Fontaine, along with the other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now.
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
Ooh, wait, so if he wasn't in the tunnel or the box.
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Permission to speak, Your Honor.
Granted.
My client has withheld some key information In my defense, cannot proceed.
In that case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are some things that must be discussed.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Okay, she just needs to be taken down a peg. She is jizzing in her pants right now over all this. Lenny, what the fuck?
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
I forgive her.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain.
Oh, this ought to be good. I hope we get a cutscene.
I know you've clashed with the Vatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset.
I mean, to be fair, we're kind of somehow friends with one of the Harbingers, so... Wait, one? Does Scaramouche count? We might be friends with two of them.
But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
But how can we know that this isn't just another lie?
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but...
Explain the other issue first. Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed?
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
It seems a little unnecessary.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
The construction of the tunnel? Interesting. And what did you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
But why do you want to understand how the Oratrice operates?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Fuck you guys. I'm kidding. I believe in the facts. We actually get to choose. Well, it says, I will defend you from these charges. I believe that judgment will be dispensed as it should. Well, obviously we're supposed to be the good, trusting guys here, but I do kind of wonder what would happen if we said, fuck off. But let's not pretend that we're not friends with one or two of the Fatui Harpers, like I said. Also, there's no way we're leaving Catgirl out in the rain.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Actually, we already have the key evidence we need.
Huh?
Actually, the adjournment's almost over. Let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Lenny's statement. Lenny claims that he headed to the chamber containing the ordnance core upon entering the tunnel and did not witness the crime taking place and thus did not hear the thud. Voice in the ordnance core chamber. Lenny claims to have heard a mysterious voice within the chamber that houses the ordnance core within the Opera House underground structure. Yeah, this is the part that kind of bugs me still, is that, you know, they make us do all this work. Well, I guess it's, this is to make sure that we can go where we want at multiple times instead of forcing us to continue with the story. Maybe I want to go use some, make some condensed resin. Thinking about it, I probably should do that.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
Ugh, that took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Oh, she looks so smug. I wish I could have looked at that a little longer. Based on the opposition's account of events, you can identify the loopholes in their statement. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions of fact and replace them with new inferences. Use your refutations to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. The ordinance will display such shifts clearly. When you find and refute all of the incorrect content, you can complete the cycle of refutation and unveil the truth. Huh.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed.
Damn, he knocked the fuck out of him.
So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it.
Pretty good inference.
That's the truth. behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
No.
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linny experienced, and what he saw.
Identify loopholes. He entered the tunnel. Which one of these? Young lady's clothes, sound of strange. Okay, yeah, no, he went to the core.
Seems this won't produce a particularly effective rebuttal.
It won't? No? Strange sound. Yeah, I mean, he entered the tunnel. Okay, so what refutes the fact that he entered the tunnel? I mean, none of these seem to. Wait, what? Is none of these? What am I supposed to use then? Okay, maybe I'll use this then. Oh, okay, I gotta select the different ones. Gotcha. Yeah, because none of my options could refute that first one. Oh yeah, he claimed that he heard nothing. This one should work, yeah.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Okay, did we get new options yet? Okay, no. Kidnapped her? This seems good. No? I mean, none of these seem to. Maybe it doesn't fit in there then. And this one's about how he purposely caused the on-stage incident. Heard a mysterious voice.
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's
I just
core.
straight up guessed that.
This is the actual truth.
Okay, I don't know why I couldn't figure that out. So I guess the refute to her being kidnapped is that no, he went to the room. But I guess I didn't think that because that's the same as this one. It's like, no, he went to the room. No, he went to the room. This one isn't true. He went to the other room. This isn't true. He was in the other room.
Seems Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
Okay. I really had to just guess that.
Linny did indeed go into the tunnel, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent!
Oh, I see. I wasn't supposed to replace them all. I was supposed to replace a couple. Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that didn't sound like a very good refutation. That's why it didn't make a ton of sense to me. It's like, one of these is like, well, you know, he beat the crap out of that one guy down there. It's like, no, he didn't, because, I mean, he just said that he stumbled upon it. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Because if somebody accused me of beating somebody, and I don't think, no, he was like that when I got there. It's a very believable excuse.
Actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
Moreover, I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed. You stupid.
My reasoning?
The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion. However, you say that Cowell bumped into Lenny by chance.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
To play devil's advocate, it would be because they got discovered, according to what she said, right?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell them! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Do you happen to remember how you refuted Lenny's alibi initially?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't.
Your claim has now become my weapon. Your claim has also become a critical clue. You triggered my trap card. What is this? What am I looking at? What is this? What am I doing here? Oh, which of the evidence that Lenny wasn't in the tunnel when the crime took place? Is it in here? Audible thump. Everything's closed off. Okay, which one of these says that Lenny probably wasn't in the tunnel then? I'm guessing it could be this one, but it wouldn't make a ton of sense for it to be.
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
I don't know if I'm dumb or if I'm thinking about this way too much. It's like, the fact that he heard a thud or that he didn't hear a thud isn't proof that he wasn't there, because he just said that he didn't hear a thud. That's not necessarily proof, that's just a testament, I guess.
Well played. To think you'd use such logic.
Imagine using logic.
Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The murderer was... the guard's investigation report indicates that the fireworks released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the rope suspending the water tank above the stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Cowell in the box below. If Lenny's no longer under suspicion, the only other member of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Lenny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using a box inside a box, the idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath, and Lenny himself would also be able to use the tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of on-stage interactions. The clothes belonging to Hazley, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. Who was the only person who could possibly have committed the crime?
Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility? Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
True. Hypothesis correct? That it was the guy who died?
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's this one.
No one entered or...
Wait, yep.
The deceased's name is Cowell.
Yep. Let's see, is this one? This one?
Linny was not in the tunnel at that...
That one?
It would have been tough for both people to fit...
in that one. What? I mean, it makes sense to me.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention.
No, it makes sense to me. He could have tampered with the evidence if both of them had tried to go in there. Well, no, I'm thinking about it too hard. He's the only one that makes sense. So...
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. It would have been tough for both people to...
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure.
The deceased's name is Cowell. No one entered or left the
Yeah, nobody came in. Nobody could get in or out, so it had to be somebody who was already here. It had to have been him because he had the opportunity.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. It would have been tough for both people to fit in.
Yeah, both couldn't fit into the vent. So one person could fit, one that's missing, and somebody else will be left behind. Like this guy, like Cowell.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash, but
I think it's this
would
one.
have been tough for both people. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from a...
What is it?
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Are they just giving it to me now?
The sound we
then?
heard may have come from a... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must... It would have been tough for both people to fit into that.
Oh, I thought I did 4.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
It's one of these two.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention.
How can we envisage? Is that word? Linny having been unable to interfere with the crime.
Linny was not in the tunnel.
Yeah, because he wasn't in the tunnel.
No one entered or left the...
Oh, okay. I see. I see. Oh, I think I was supposed to be answering the questions up there. Maybe that's what it is. Who's the prime suspect currently?
The deceased's name is Cowell.
Where did the missing person go? Wait, is this one glowing yellow?
Linny was not in the tunnel at...
No. It means I already selected that one.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must... No one entered or left the opera house through its entrance.
No, that one's wrong? Where did she go?
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention.
Yeah, see, some of this isn't making sense to me. The question is, where did she go? And somehow the answer to that is, she's naked. I don't understand. Am I stupid? I might be stupid. Criminal must have understood the method. Wait, did I just fail or lose? What just happened? The criminal must have understood the methods behind Linny's magic trick and must have been in position to easily modify the equipment. Leaving aside how Cowell died, he had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. The strange noise could have most likely been the sound of Cowell and Hazley struggling. Halsey. Linny was not in the tunnel for 1 minute. This could have given time for Cowell to bring Halsey out of the magic box into the audience stand. But according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if he had taken her, there'd be no means for exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing that they would be discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the world did Halsey go?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Magic. Escaping from the water tank. Wait, could it have been the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents.
I'm on to something, but I have no idea what it
See
is.
that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Hold on a second.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper
Okay, I
with
guess
the
it's
equipment.
just putting it all together for us.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances, So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
It was? Oh crap, hang on, phone call. All right, sister's phone call is over. Now let's try to understand what's going on here, because I am having a difficult time.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped.
Yeah, because, wait, you're trying to say something about the water? Like, see, it can't just be me not understanding this properly, because what the hell does a broken vase and spilled water have to do with how somebody just vanished?
Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, how was I supposed to guess that?
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment.
I mean, if the god of the water is saying that no, that's impossible and stupid, then
how could a
this
person
doesn't really
ever
sound
be
good.
transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
I request that we examine Cowell's personal effects. You might find something there.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an
Primordial
organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
What, so that spilled vase over there is actually Halsey?
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
Ooh, nice animation.
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
The liquids that the guards found in Cowell's luggage seem to have the ability to dissolve Fontanians into water. Who's the prime suspect?
The
Cowell.
deceased's name is Cowell.
What item did the couple use to control the timing of the dissolution?
The water from the primordial sea should already have been.
Does that mean this one? Crap.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this?
No, I already screwed it up. Let me just add these.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage. I remember there was something
wait, I
else
can switch
within
them
the
around.
inner.
Wait a second.
The water from the primordial sea.
What did the couple use to control the timing of the dissolution? Control the timing.
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
Yeah, I think it's that one. Yeah, that one's wrong. Used to hide the mechanism.
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Yeah, it should be this one. Yeah.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
If you say so.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
Among Linny's effects?
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Here we go again.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon.
Ooh, murder weapon.
As much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization.
All right, let's tear apart this evidence.
Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no! Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses
well-
to my flawless
Well, Lenny,
reasoning.
with that tattoo, at least you shouldn't have any issues in prison. I don't think anybody will mess with you.
I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic?
Eh?
I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young
my
woman
cleavage.
who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf.
Wait, what is she on
But
about?
as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
Oh, that's a adorable smile.
And voila.
Cinematic? Wait, that's her outfit? No, that's a different outfit. Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial.
Okay, what the fuck is going on?
I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt.
Lillian from Mondstadt?
I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before.
I mean, if you're gonna be so blunt about it, yeah, I steal stuff. I've never heard somebody put it so bluntly.
But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee, but then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box.
Damn. What? Wait, so you knocked him out and stuffed him in the box? What does that have to do with the Interesting.
There was nowhere to run
Oh,
from
wait.
there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
If they're a practiced hand at concealment, probably.
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, you are now.
Well, that makes everything
She said,
pretty
"I steal,
clear
I don't
now,
kill."
doesn't it?
Yeah, now it's time to refute the Hydro Archon's previous reasoning.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lily-Ann's perspective.
Time for the turnaround. Enter the tunnel. He did. Paisley dissolved. She did not dissolve. I don't think that goes there. Infighting between Linnea and Cowell. Linnea knocked out Cowell. Maybe this one? No?
Seems this...
I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but none of these seem to refute any of these claims. I'm refuting the idea that the two of them fought because a hug dropped? No. Because there was a thud that everybody heard? No.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but it was smashed during the struggle between Lily-Ann and Cowell.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Obviously, Lynette or Lenny didn't knock Cowell out because there was a broken vase. Yeah, see, it's like I'm not getting a ton of details in some of these descriptions. That's why it's so hard to figure out.
Lily-Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief. Seems this... The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lily-Ann's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time!
Here we go. This is getting annoying, Paimon.
Having been selected out of the blue, Lily-Ann panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lily-Ann had not dissolved. He did not know that Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lily-Ann back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lily-Ann came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Success. Yeah, the descriptions in some of these things that they're expecting you to put together do not really make a ton of sense together.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
See, I knew somebody had taken them, but what I really didn't understand is how she literally could have snatched it from right up under us. Like, the shit is right in front of us. It's like a foot and a half in front of us, and we didn't see anybody reach their hand out and grab it.
At this point,
Okay, suspend disbelief. Okay,
in
sure.
the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
Was she just gonna walk out?
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Nope.
Wow, look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
Oh, I missed the part where that's my problem.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved.
Wait, because this is the part that kind of confused me. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water in the tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind from the young woman. Oh, okay. So he planned to have the water tank fall on the box, and you never would have noticed that there was water mixed in there from where the person used to be.
He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim.
Man, beat his ass.
Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
Yeah, let's go.
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
What if he still says that he's guilty? Watch this.
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool. Dude, we definitely should have got like a suit skin or something. Just like an official suit. A fucking Phoenix Wright suit.
Great work, partners. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
And then he uses his skill and he's like, objection.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dare to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes?
Got him.
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
Coupon Town?
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
Interesting. So, that guy and this whole thing that he's got going, they've all been responsible for the disappearances over the years.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
Oh, shit. He turned into water. They got him on lock.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous
And who is them?
act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Hey, they got the bots. They got the RoboCops.
So, we're just going back now?
The problem seems to have been solved for now. We're not needed here anymore.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me.
Are we still mad because he didn't tell us he's Fatui?
But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just wanted to be sure that we're square.
I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave?
The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
Oh. You said she, and I immediately knew who you're talking about. The Knave, huh? So that's, I know who you mean, but I can't remember her name. You know, the hot girl with the red X's in her eyes. The Knave. And also Father.
That's right. And since we're here,
are you calling her
I was
father?
wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past.
That would also
Back
explain
when
the
our parents
cutscene.
first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first,
Lucky.
too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Sheesh.
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
So what happened after that?
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
Wow. Okay, this did take quite a dark turn. Not when I thought, but...
I mean, the knave might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Destroy?
Oh,
She slit his fucking
so
throat.
that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
The knave is also after the Gnosis, isn't she?
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power once she obtains it.
Oh, that's
She
not
plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
good. Really? I find that hard to believe.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis.
Arlecchino, that's her name.
Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are
Arlecchino.
from Fontaine.
Oh,
We
that
won't
makes
give
sense.
up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I'm sorry, but I still can't completely trust you.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
I understand. Bro, I wish you would stop being such a dick right now, bro. Like, we all know you're friends with several Fatui members.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
Well,
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really only looking to defend Lenny. I wasn't necessarily looking into the serial disappearance case.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
See, now I feel bad. Now I want to help. God damn it.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too.
Oh, fuck. She's playing us. She's really playing us, isn't she?
It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Well, sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Dude, she's always trying to feed us. I love her.
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Hey, if it's on you.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the Court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer?
All right, then. Let's have our farewell meal.
Hey, and that's the end of Act 1. Yeah, it's very, very interesting story. And it sounds like we're not too far off from meeting Arlecchino. I know that she's been getting hyped up for a while now. People want the X-eyed mommy, I guess. And honestly, you can't blame them. So many waifus in this update. I'm here for it. But it looks like a lot of that's gonna have to wait till a later time because I'm late. It's getting late, and I got to wake up and go somewhere at like 2 in the morning, so that's gonna be fun. Which means that I gotta get out of here pretty quickly. So, appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out. This was a fun experience. I'm gonna be, in fact, gone. I know my schedule's already kind of spotty, but I'm definitely not gonna be able to stream until at least like Thursday, Friday. So, I'll see everybody then. Have a good night.